Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Smash their vehicle into a pole. Like I said, he's probably drunk. It's two little hotties. It's two hotties? Yeah. Well, it looks like it. One of them going to jail. Probably three, maybe.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Blackness podcast where various black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G. Today we got Adam.
Yo.
Keys.
Check out my YouTube.
Keys.
What's up? I was going to say something smart. Go ahead.
James.
Why does nigga sound like the Micro Machine guy?
And LL Cool Pat has made a return.
What up?
He need a round-away girl.
Now, with that being said, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, let people know about us, help us build this community, and help us build this brand. Also, make sure to check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description Podcast over there on YouTube. We also dual upload over there on Rumble. I'll be seeing y'all over there listening to us, so I want to thank y'all for checking us out over there on Rumble. And just a quick update for anybody who came over to this podcast from the Wisdom app. For some reason, because I do talks over there, basically they shut it down for everybody who is not, I guess, a top creator. So I don't know what's going to happen over there on Rumble. I'll probably talk about it on the next podcast, but I just want to make sure to give you that update. So stay tuned for the next podcast for some more news on that. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started with the podcast.
That's my wife. When I go to Target, I'll be knowing what I want. But I mean, you know what? I take that back. I have done that before, but I'm most of the time. It's just I have like a one-track mind, so I'll go and it'll be like the Naked Turtles come out at Walmart, you know what I mean, and that's what I get. So I might come in there to get one and then find out there's one I've been looking for, and I might get the other one if I could afford it. That's how far as it go though. If I go by myself, I'm going to get what I want and coming out. If I go with other people, that's a whole different story. Because now I'm bored. I'm walking around waiting for my wife to get out of Target, and I'm start grabbing all kind of out of boredom.
They know what they're doing, man. They got it set up in a very specific way to make you want to grab things. Dude, I'll tell you what happened to me. I'm guilty of that. I went into Target, and our Target is right by the Walmart. You go across the street, you're at Walmart, right?
And I'll tell you one like that too.
Oh, okay, so you're just like me. So then, but I'll tell you my version of why I don't like Walmart in a minute. But I went in Target. My wife called me up. She said, "Can you go by the store?" That's all she said. The store, and get some vegetables for dinner. That was what she told me to do. I said, okay. Mm-hmm. I was talking to my brother. So my brother's a witness to this as well. So I'm on the phone, just talking to him, going in there. And the first thing I do is go in there and I grab the vegetables. And then I'm like, well, actually, the kids need fruit snacks. Okay. And then, well, we need chips. Okay. And we need something to drink because I'm tired of water. Okay. So I'm in the food aisle right now, right? Somehow between me talking to my brother and getting the vegetables and food, I end up in the electronics aisle, right? So it goes for me also going over there and being like, oh, I need this right here because I'm tired of the kids fucking up my, and I already know they're going to fuck this up too, but I'm like, I need to get this.
That sounds like a choice because the food aisle and electronic aisle is separate. Normally, the electronics is by the kid clothes and the toys. So you took a whole 360 to get some.
Look, they know what they're doing. You know, at the end of the food aisle is the makeup, and not that far past the makeup is the electronic aisle. So it's kind of like a hop, skip, and you're there. I'm like, I don't even know what happened. I blinked and I was in the electronic aisle. That's all I can say. But I went there, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this. So I got some Switch controllers. That's what I ended up getting. But
Oh man,
So
that's a whole
it
other thing.
it went from me supposedly just spending $5 for some vegetables, right? That's all less than $5, like probably four, to me spending $130. And
That's
my
funny.
brother, he on the phone, he's like, "Didn't you get the vegetables like an hour ago?" And I'm just talking to him, right? And
I
I'm like,
think
"Yeah,
what
I
it is,
did."
I think what it is family too, because I'm like that. Because like I'll go in there for something, and then I'll be like, oh, I can't go home and not get my daughter nothing, and then it's like, oh, I can't come home and just get my daughter nothing. I got other kids too, so then I was like, oh, I can't come home and not have my wife nothing. Next thing you know, I done bought. Next thing you know, I'm putting my back to get them shit. And then I done spent, I done overspent, so I get that.
I'll tell you another
I
one.
need to be a monk. I'm better by myself.
I'll tell you another one on top of that. So not even that long ago. And G, this is so I bought one, okay? So I went in there and because I was supposed to just get diapers for the baby. That's all I was supposed to get. And I wasn't even going to spend money because I had enough money on my Target app to buy a big box of diapers, right? There's no
Oh yeah,
excuse
y'all
for
go to
me to
Target a
spend
lot.
money. So I go up in there and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this. But I've been watching YouTube because G convinced me to start a YouTube channel. So this is all he
Oh,
holds some
like
blame
me and
on
my
this.
slow ass podcast too.
He convinced you to do that.
Yeah, I need to get back on it. I haven't been on my podcast for a minute, but yeah, because of him, I started a podcast, and half the time like, oh, I forgot to make something. Now it's just sits there.
Now let me ask, did you order yourself something on Amazon to go get some things on from the store for for the podcast?
No, I did the cheapskate way.
Oh no,
I
oh
figured,
man, no. There's no cheapskate way as long as you do it.
yeah.
But so when I went in there and I bought the diapers, and I'm on YouTube looking at microphones, right? And I'm like, because
Oh
I did
God,
record myself with
yeah.
my phone, and I'm like, it is a little bit different. So I tried to record
Right.
myself in my room. I tried to record myself in my bathroom because the kids aren't going to come bother me in there, and I was wrong about that. I
Man,
tried to I
I know all about that, man.
tried to record myself outside. So I said, you know what? Forget this. This is not working right. Let me check and see what type of budget microphone I can get myself. And I seen they had the forgot the name brand, but it's a nice brand, right? And I seen they had it on sale. It was like $15 off. I'm like, oh, I'm about to get this. So
Mm.
I end up in electronics aisle again. And I go and I get something that should have been free and spend $45. I don't even know where the extra other money came from because it was underneath that. I just can't. I don't know. First of all, I blame Target. I blame the setup, and then I blame G because he's the root of this problem.
I ain't gonna lie, he had me looking up microphones and stuff too. And I was like, I'll get that shit later. He had me looking at because I was looking that up, and I need, you know what, and I did record a few shows, so I do plan on bringing it back. But I just been so busy with other stuff, like my show coming up at the Collector Con, and and I'm on top of that. Prior to that, I had a lot of hardship, so I've been MIA, but I'm gonna get back on it. Cause everybody who knows about that IKEA furniture, man, who knows about that IKEA, that pain and the furniture.
I don't know, Adam.
You know about putting together that furniture. Sometimes you just be like, ah,
Oh man,
it ain't.
I'm an IKEA like. Since I moved out here, I got one, two, three pieces of furniture that I put together so I can call myself a beyond a handyman. You can contract me to come and build your furniture. This shit
You know
took
what's
me.
crazy?
It went from
Go ahead.
6 hours to 4 hours to 3 hours. So I'm getting better with each one.
I like it. I just wish I had some. I wish I had power tools.
I'm sorry, what you say, man?
No. I said I like it. I just wish I had power tools. Because
Ah,
turning this L key is hurting my hands.
yeah, I got one of those little I got the little toolkit that they sell at IKEA. It was for a
Uh-huh.
good price. And I use it sometimes, but most of the time when you're putting together the furniture, or at least the
Yeah.
dressers, like it's better to use whatever it came with or a hammer
Right.
because it's not really a lot of screws. It's like one or it's a couple, but not a
Sometimes
lot.
sometimes that's the case. Like this is not that it's not that taxing. It's just a matter of sometimes when you try to put the other side on, it comes loose, and the side because of the side screws that they have, one of the ones I did it stripped the hole because it wasn't the right size, and then some of the other pieces they just went in a little funny sometimes. One time it got so bad, I got some from Amazon. It wasn't IKEA. I got these shelves from Amazon, but they put the wrong screws in there, and that was hell trying to figure that shit out. I was like, why I can't figure this out? It's because they had the wrong screws in it. And then what's funny is after doing some research, I found out that it's not that it was the wrong screws, is they had the wrong screws in the actual instructions. So they swapped out the screws because the screws that was in the instructions didn't work good. So they switched the screws out, but you don't know that. So you're looking for the screws that's in the instruction manual, and you're like, hold up, where the hell is this at? So anyway, I got a free shelf out of it though, so it's all good. I got another one. I got one, two, three. I got four all together, and they sent me I got a free one out of the four.
That's a good
Hello?
deal. I'll take that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could have
The
sent it back, but why?
the small struggle for a free show.
Yeah, no, it works out, man. I got my collection on it. I mean, they're really cheaply made though. Like, so it's like you want to put some weight on them at the bottom because they have the things to like screw it up against the wall. But if you don't have a wall to put it on, it's kind of a little bit of a pain, a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Because I know I haven't even used the screws that came with that yet. So I'm
Mm,
in I'm in a condo. So last thing I want to do is drill into my neighbor's like
there you
place.
go.
Yeah, because the wall. I'm not saying the walls are super thin, but they're thin enough so I can hear some shit going on next door anytime I want to.
Right. I got you. Oh shit, you freaky deaky. You probably be over there listening to them going like, oh yeah. Like they getting it over there, they getting it.
Mhm. You hear the
Oh
creak,
shit.
creak, 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 creak.
Uh, my neighbors be I got some special neighbors. They like, developmentally mentally disabled, I think. And no, I'm just playing. No, they do got some issues. I think they got like some bipolar issues or something. Like, cause one of not to be talking bad about her. I know because I know she got a little deformity, but I always hear them in there fighting and arguing and hitting and banging on stuff. And I'm like, all of them in there got issues because they be, it'd be 3 in the morning, they hollering and crying, talking about I'm gonna kill myself, and I'm like, God damn, I need to move. Like, what is going on? Shoot, I remember when I first used to hear the bump and I wasn't tripping. I'm like, oh, maybe they get it on, get it. But no, them niggas, I'm like, it's been 5 hours. Ain't nobody screwing that long. Like, God damn. Come to find out they in there fighting and hollering and carrying on. Like, man, knock that mess off. Mad as hell when you come check if everything's all right. I'm just up to being a gentleman, right?
Hmm.
I'm just, hey, you all right? It sounds like you dusted your hand open somewhere in there. I'm just checking on you. It wasn't us. No. Like, I know it was you. You directly behind me. There's nobody else but directly behind me. Yeah, I could see your room or your patio next to my patio. It was you. It was funny as hell. And it was
That,
called, they probably the ones called the police. I wanted to knock on the wall, say it so bad, like, I ain't called the police on you. It was funny.
That don't sound like the Idris Elba story. You heard about that happening?
No.
What
Uh,
happened?
so basically the story he said he almost died. So what basically happened was this dude, he was at a club and this dude was arguing with this girl or whatever, right? And so Idris Elba was trying to be, I guess a gentleman was I forgot.
Oh, the dude from the dude that was in Creed.
Yeah, he was also playing that one show Luther.
No. I know him from Creed and from the cowboy movie on Netflix. I didn't. Oh no, you talking about Idris? You talking about
Yeah, Idris Elba. Yeah.
Daddy's girl? You talking about Daddy's girl, dude? My bad. That's a different actor. I
Okay,
thought you
yeah.
was talking. That's the dude from That's the dude that was in Daddy's Girls and in Thor. He played the gatekeeper in Thor.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I'm not good with actors' names, but I'm good like so far as like if you name the actor by the character.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, so he was at a club. I forgot his exact words. Actually, I should look it up.
That was your first mistake. You at a club trying to break some shit up? No, that's not what you're
Right.
there for.
So basically the story I'll look it up and say, but I'll just tell off the top of my head. So basically, this dude and this girl was arguing. And he came up and he basically says, "Why are you talking to this beautiful woman like that?" And dude was like, "You trying to hit on my girl?" And he wanted to put out a gun on him.
Mm.
So yeah.
Well, you know what? What you saying that what it really reminds me of was the first actor that I was talking about, and I wanted to talk about how these privileged women can take advantage of their privilege. It was a big thing. So the guy from Creed, okay, the one who plays his brother. If you haven't seen Creed, the last Creed, I think it was Creed 3.
I know who you're talking
Spoiler.
about. I haven't seen the
Yeah.
movie, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay, so he also has a cowboy. He's in this cowboy movie that's pretty good. All-star cast, Regina King. It's on Netflix. There was accusations that he assaulted a woman, and was come to find out the story was that he did something to this lady, and the police were called, and there was a big issue. This dude is an up and coming actor. He had endorsements. He was supposed to be the spokesperson for the army. He had movies coming up.
Okay, hold on, wait. Okay, that's
Yeah,
a little
you're talking
incorrect.
about the guy from Quantum
Yeah,
Ant-Man 4.
Ant-Man. Yeah. But that starts a little incorrect. No, that woman, no, that was his girl. They were dating.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it, bro. Like just like
That
you,
ain't
I'm
his
just
girl no more.
like just like you, I'm going off the top of the dome. I ain't looking at it.
Yeah. I'm just helping you out. I know. I'm just helping you
Okay,
out.
cool. So boom. So but my whole thing is it's messed up how a woman could say something like that about a man automatically, and he was the one who called the police. He was the one trying to stop whatever was going on. It came out. They showed the footage. He didn't do anything. It was somebody else who did whatever happened, right? So, but he lost all of his endorsements over an accusation, and that's what I thought that was messed up. It's like they have to they'll say a female will say something, and they'll take it as law before they even get the facts. And I see it all the time. And it's close to me on a personal level, some stuff that I've dealt with in the past too. But I feel like it's a subject that people should address. Like it's messed up. These females feel like they could just say, "Oh, he hit me," or "Oh, he did this to me," and just destroy a man's life. And it'd be some cap. It'd be so cap. This
They
dude
really
lost all.
do.
It's wrong, man. It's
And
because
you,
go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, man.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I was
I like when
gonna,
people tell me.
I was gonna add to your story. You're right, and I had read that they found out, yeah, he was lying, and it wasn't him. He was innocent. But you know what she did?
What
She
you do?
skipped town. She went out the country. That's what happened right
Wow.
now. She's out the country, and they're trying to figure out what to do. Meanwhile, he's over here with his new girl, who's I think another actress too. But the whole fact of the matter is, like, they said all this shit before, like it was resolved. It was just like, no, this is what happened. And I read some of the comments underneath that, right? And it's like,
Right.
some of the people were just like, were all these people that were like on her side saying this and this and this, right? And you still have
Right.
some people that are like, oh, she just ran away. Sounds like she was scared or something. Like, dude, get off this man's
Yeah.
dick. He
Man.
proved himself innocent. The video shows it. He fought it. He countersued for what's that the
Defamation of
defamation.
character.
Yeah,
Defamation of character.
and then she up and out and ran away. Like,
Look
and
at
see,
Johnny Depp's
my
situation.
question exactly. Johnny Depp though, he was just like, you know what, he fought for her to continue that movie and not for man. I don't know what happened to it, but I know he's like, like, let her do her thing, you know. But like this woman, she shit on the fucking bed, man. I ain't gonna, man. I ain't even trying to say that shit. But as one of my close friends always says, in his immortal words, that's some white people shit.
But the thing is, it's just really scandalous because these females, I'll get a little personal. For me, I've been in a situation where I was with my woman, at the time, and she was being disrespectful. So I said, you know what? I want to vacate. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to go to my grandma's house. I don't want to deal with this right now. So she decides to attack me in the kitchen in the dark, push me up against the sink. There's like a knife or something sticking out of the the where you dry your dishes at, and it's sticking me in my back. So I'm like, at this point, I'm trying to get this bitch off of me because there's something sharp sticking in my back, and I don't want to get cut. So I pushed her off of me, and then that was fine. And I'm just trying to get past her. I'm struggling trying to get past her because I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to. I'm trying to move her out of my way. No, I'm not hitting her or anything of that nature. Then, when she finally gets tired, because that's the only time it stopped. When she finally got tired, and decide to start walking slower, I was like, "See, man, this is stupid." And I gave her a little shove on the shoulder, and she acted like I pushed her, like we was playing football. She acted like I just pushed her so hard. She started twirling around. She started slipping. She fell on my son's toys and got a little scratch behind her ear. Next thing you know, police was called. And I told the police, I said, hey, I told her I'm like, I'm trying to take care of you. I'm trying to see what's wrong with you. Police on the phone. I didn't even know they were on the phone. I'm like, I'm trying to help you. I said, you know what? I said, tell the police I'll be down the street at my grandmother's house because I need to get away from this situation. I'm waiting in front of my grandmother's house for the police to show up. They put me in the car, didn't ask me no fucking questions. Said I fled the scene. I said, so you mean to tell me you want me to stay in a domestic situation? If you rather me stay in a domestic situation than walk away from it? Because that's what I was trying to do in the first place. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. They showed me how far my rights went when they took me that way. It's like ever since OJ, they could do whatever they want to do. A female could throw an iron at your face and you could be all bloody, and they gonna say, but dang, but you did hit her after that. She threw a fucking iron at my face, dude.
There's no such thing as self-defense when it comes to that. And I find that
Right.
funny too, like, oh, it's self-defense when it's
You
against someone similar to you or whatever, but when it's
right.
against the opposite gender, oh no, it's assault or it's this and that. But when a woman
Right.
does it, oh, the first thing before anything happens, what was the situation like? They pull her to the side. They don't they don't put her in cuffs or anything before trying to figure out what the situation is. And that's the thing. My dad, personally too, he was in a similar situation with another woman. And this was like,
Hmm.
I had went and got him in the dead of night on 4th of July. And I went to Bakersfield to get him out of jail because he called me. I really didn't want to do it. I had work in the morning. But I did that hour and a
Right.
half trek. Then we drove all the way out what's that next city? Boron, I think. I don't know. It was like 1 hour, 2 hours away. And he tried to get his car to leave. Come to find out, she fucking went in the car, unplugged it and everything, so he couldn't take the car and leave. Tried to say like, he did all this shit. Little does she know that I'm right here. I'm aware of the situation because I was a military officer, police officer, so I know
Oh
what
wow.
some of the do's and don'ts are. So I'm visually looking at the situation. My dad's telling me to come inside the house because he wants to see. I don't know whose property it is. And she's like, don't come inside this house. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to come inside the house. But I can visually see. My stepbrother, he's in there. He sees everything, but he's not trying to do anything. Granted, I guess, I think he's like 17, but he's not trying to, but you can't really blame him on that. But the whole
Right.
situation comes down, the police get the call, right? So I'm the one who called the police. And I call, the police, not 911. First of all, I want to know, why the fuck do you have people working at the police station or 911 who have fucking attitude about their job? Their job is to
Yeah. Oh
to
yeah.
serve and
All that.
protect. That's my first issue right then and there. So many people call them, and so many people have fucking attitudes or issues. Like, you want to be here, go find another job. That's as
Right.
simple as that, Second, you call trying to get advice. They don't give you advice or information or trying to tell you, what's the best thing to do or what they advise you to do, because that's what you want to do at that point, because the military and civilian is different. But issues with that right then and there. So I'm telling my dad, you know what, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna get in my car, we're gonna stay here, we're not gonna leave. We're gonna let her do whatever the fuck she wants to do. And and then when the police get here, we're gonna go ahead and talk to them. They got there 2 hours later because they said, it's gonna be about 2 hours for a domestic, scene, right? And they said, did you guys want to just call back at around 6 a.m. in the morning or something? But no, I'll wait here for the police to come. I'm not stupid. So
Right.
so they come and she comes up with this fucking elaborate lie talking about everything that happened. I'm not even trying to interrupt her. I know that would have been some issues, but I'm getting angry. I'm just letting her spew her fucking little lie and everything. I'm just sitting there, looking at her dead in her eye. I'm not even breaking contact. I'm like, I'm looking straight at you, bitch. Like I'm looking at you right through your teeth. So then the police officer comes over to us and asks us what's happening, right? And I'm like, well, this is what happened. I did my dad did and this is what happened from me looking. She said not to go in, I did it. I stayed right here. If any of these work, you can pull the record and show me, see what I'm doing. If it's in my dad's name, this is his property, but she wouldn't let him in. This is his car. And the police officer, one of them who came, he also came the last time the police was called on him in that similar situation, which is how he ended up in jail in the first place. So he's like, I remember what happened. I know what happened. And this wasn't what happened. So what he made her do is she made her give him the keys. She also made her back the fuck up so he can actually plug the car in so he can go, and he left with the car. So it was a good thing that was a police officer that was there that remembered the scene from last time. Because
Right.
although we tried to do everything by the book, just like you said, when you try and push yourself away from the situation, but you're making it like, I'm here. You can come speak and talk to me. I'm not going to stay here in the situation. And that's the issue. I agree with you. It's
Right.
like they want you to stay in that like domestic
And make it
abuse
worse.
issue, and you're trying to leave, which is the smartest thing to do. You leave the situation before it gets any worse than what it already is. So
Right.
stay there and let it get worse. That sounds like an
What's
issue with the law.
right. And what was crazy about my situation, dude, for me, is that she was one of the first people I called. Do you know what she said to me? They told me they got you. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? You're the reason I'm in here, right? And then gonna come and visit like the next day, because I wasn't in there long. Oh, holding up pictures. I still want this. I still want this. Are you kidding me?
the cold part about it, the worst part about it is when you don't have a lawyer, because we go to court. Mind you, when I get out, I just said screw it. I had a baby. I said I'll be with her, whatever. We come into the court building together on the bus. We spent the night together. We get to the court building. They're separating us like it's a big case. I'm in the hallway with my kid. Mind you, they tried to use that against me. They thought it was a show. Not that I'm just a good father and I just love my son. So we were playing around in a hallway because he's my child. But he tried to use it against me when he was like, "Don't go off of seeing stuff and da 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 da." In so many words, it's because he saw me playing with my son in the hallway. But anyway, because to the jury. So my public defender, she gets. Oh, let me backtrack. My bad. She gets on the stand and she just tells the truth. She just tells the truth. He wanted to leave, and she said it ghetto. He wanted to leave, and I didn't want him to leave, so I did blank, 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 blank. When I talked to my public defender, after she just said all the stuff she did, how she attacked me, how she wouldn't let me leave, he's gonna tell me I'm worried about when you pushed her when she turned around. Are you kidding me? Now, mind you, I'm a kid. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. So he convinced me into taking a plea when I shouldn't have got anything.
Fuck that.
I shouldn't have got anything. I got disturbing of the peace. I'm a kid. You're scaring me. You're telling me if I don't do this, that I could possibly get jail time. Naturally, I'm gonna pick whatever doesn't make me get jail time. So
That's how they got my brother too.
Right.
I just wanted to throw that in there and everything.
Yeah.
Different situation.
You good, but I just got a disturbing of the peace ticket, and I had to. I spent a few days in jail, whatever. But the whole thing about it is, I wouldn't even know what a jail cell looked like if it hadn't been for this female. And you're gonna sit up here and tell me after this woman basically just told the truth that she attacked me, that you said, "Oh, I'm worried about when you pushed her when she turned around." You gotta be fucking kidding me. What she gotta do? Shoot me for me to be able to defend myself?
Yep.
They still be worried about that, man. It's like, I'm worried that
I know she shot you,
you called her to pick up the gun. What was the reason why she picked up the gun?
Man, my eyes hanging out my socket, but you did scratch her though. You scratched her. My eyes hanging out of my skull. Man, I know, man, but you scratched her, dog.
That's fucking assault. That's again. I'm gonna use what my friend says. That's some white people shit. Even if it's not, you scratched her. You touched her to get her attention. You still assaulted her. You said, "Excuse me, ma'am." You tapped her on her shoulder, and then she felt assaulted. So yeah, I'm man. That type of shit is like, what the fuck you want me to do? I don't understand. That's like saying,
Right.
someone's driving and you're trying to yell at them to get their attention so they don't hit a baby that just went in the street or whatever. It's just like, well, you verbally assaulted them and they got scared, which is why they crashed into the tree. Not because they was on their cell phone driving and didn't see the baby and you tried to get their attention.
Right.
Oh man. The law is blind, but the law also likes to tell jokes.
You know what?
That's why
That's why in the movie Law Abiding Citizen, I wanted the bad guy to win. I wanted him to win. You seen it with Jamie Foxx and old boy from
Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Now, I didn't see the whole movie, but a
That
lot
movie
of the
was
shit
so good.
that these bad guys, right, when they're just like, you consider them bad, like, right? Like you, the American person who you don't really have any issues, no struggles, or, you ain't got to see different parts of society. You, the
Right.
person who the law is actually made to protect in the first place, you yes, you're scared that that it's gonna come tumbling down. But everybody
Right.
else who doesn't get it like you, no, they're not scared of it coming down. They want it to come down because when it comes
Right.
down, it's gonna be rebuilt and hopefully in a better way. But at least it's coming down. At least more than just like people see this as an issue and an issue that
Right.
needs to be fixed. Whether you do it in like um and whether you do it as if you want to or whether forcefully. But man, this is one movie show we're watching. It's called I forgot the name, something candidate, right? Where like the White House got blown up, half of it. Congress got killed. The president got killed, and it was supposed to kill the vice president too, but it didn't. And the vice president, he's not a Democrat or a Republican; he's an independent. And he's like, I didn't expect this to happen, but he's doing everything that he can to make society better. And then the Democrats and Republicans keep like fucking around and being like, well, you need to pick a side instead of actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is the betterment of the American people. And it's
Right.
it's a show. It is a show. It has its things that make it a show, but it's also a lot of things in there that are truthful that make you think like, yeah, I really do see this. I really do see that. It's like whenever you have someone coming into office, it's always for this party, for that party, and it's usually someone in someone's pocket because of money or something that they did or funding. But the independent guy, he's like a clean slate. I didn't take any money. I didn't do any of this shit, but I'm president now, and I'm just trying to make it better for the people. So, and a lot of issues that he always comes up with is from the fucking law that's supposed to protect the American people, and he's just like, how the fuck is this like in his own way, which I like it.
I feel like
the fuck is this?
I feel like it's always misdirection, right? Because even though people have, and don't take this as, oh my God, you voted for Trump. No, I didn't. I didn't vote for Trump. But it's mighty funny how before Trump was president, a lot of black people liked him. A lot. Some black people got loans from him. He was in Bobby Brown's video. He was around black people a lot. All of a sudden he becomes president, and he's only advertised as a racist. That's it. As a racist. And to me, I feel like maybe there's some truth to it. And he did a lot of dumb stuff. Even Biden's doing dumb stuff right now. I don't know, don't even get me started. But the whole thing about it is they're pointing out all this stuff, just like they did Obama, just like they did everybody. But at the end of the day, it's like, what's really going on? What are you trying to really distract us from? What is it that's really there? Because now that you making him out to a racist and all this stuff like that, like they know about this stuff. What other group of people could raid a government facility and not get killed?
The government itself. White people.
There you go.
Shit,
so
every
bullshit,
time,
man.
I feel like it's something's going on. Every time something happens, it's like in between the line, it's starting to get big. Shit comes out. I've seen memes, but I think it's true. Like it's funny how the memes are meant to make us laugh and be a break, but like it's true, Fennel. Like like people are starting to rise up and like fight against inequality and unequal rights and more of it. Oh, aliens are real. Oh, okay. But a lot of people weren't fazed by that shit. One, because they're just not fazed by this shit. I mean, come on now. It's 2023.
It's the post. I gotta put it in the group, but it's a post talks about America's pretty much damn near a third world country. And when you think about it, the poverty rate and the crime rate and how everybody's living check to check and can barely afford this, can barely afford that. It is like, look, the homeless is growing every freaking day. Every freaking day. Go downtown LA. I mean, there's homeless everywhere. It used to just be Skid Row. It's going further and further and further out. It's just all these homeless people. But then they could pay a basketball player $80 million to play ball. While
True.
everybody's sitting, it's crazy.
It's true. And you know
It's
what?
crazy.
It's I just went to Texas not that long ago, and we was trying to figure out what the homeless population was in Texas. We went to Houston, Texas, and it's not like they're
Hmm.
not out there, but it's not a lot of them compared to like how I would normally see homeless
See,
people. And the
right.
state itself takes care of them. They're like, oh, it's getting real hot. Open up the libraries past like the time they close. Like have them go in, sleep. They have cooling down stations and everything. It's like,
Right.
yeah, we're gonna take care of the homeless population one way or the other. I only seen 3 homeless people when I was out there, and they were purposely trying to be seen in the sense of like begging for money on the streets.
Right. I mean, it's the what's the real problem is that it's our economy is so messed up is because anything that they can send or automate, that's what they do. They want everything automated, or they want to send stuff overseas, and then they want to cry about homelessness. But you don't teach your people to do anything. You don't teach
Did
them
you
teaching them
did
teach them to do
you
anything. Huh?
Oh, I was just gonna say, did you hear how that Alaska, I think, is talking or trying to get their homeless population to come to California?
Oh, I think my wife was telling me something about that. It's the sad thing about it is I truly believe and think that there could be a lot more done when it comes to the homeless, even though, you could say, oh, it's like Pac said, it doesn't make no sense that people have two and three in homes and people ain't got a bed,
I
and
agree
you
with
could say
that.
you know you could say they you could say yeah they earned it, but it's just like in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. You
And it's
know,
also
what?
a sense of like how much greed a person is.
There you go. You don't.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
that you can't have another home,
right,
another home in another state or just another home in general. But
right,
it's I understand that America is a land of the free, in a sense,
right,
coming, hey, America is a home of the free coming from a white person. America is
right,
home of injustice to a black person. So,
right.
it's something there, but the fact of the matter is that, hey, you want to buy multiple homes? Okay, fine. You want to rent your home out for Section 8 people? Okay, fine. You just want to, whatever, hey, okay, the government is willing to pay you a certain amount of money to house people, and you're not in charge of it. This is your property. We pay a portion of your property tax, and we pay you like rent to have them come in here. That's good, but it's going to be a state or governmental worker who's going to be in charge of these people who's living here in this home, whether they're, just homeless in general with no mental issues, just fell on bad luck, or whether they're homeless because they have mental issues, and they need
Right.
some place to
They
go
don't
to.
even.
So,
They don't even talk about that. There's all these people with no health care that are mentally challenged that are out here on the streets, and then these mentally challenged people do drugs. That's a bad combination. Okay, you're already developmentally mentally disabled, and you're on drugs, and you're out here in the streets. You don't have no family, and people's like, it's really bad. And then people have the nerve to say get a job, but the same people that's saying get a job are the same people that's withholding the jobs. So you're telling me to
yeah,
get a job, but you don't want to give me one. You know what I'm
you
saying?
know,
So what are you really saying? Yes, you're just talking out your ass.
I believe there's ways that help solve it, but not solve it, excuse me, but help in the situation. The military is big, but they're also talking about how the military don't have numbers now because, a lot of people in this generation are trying to go and serve, which I can understand why they wouldn't want to in the first place. When
Right,
you have the government trying to send people over to fight wars that aren't our business and aren't our reason for fighting,
right,
implementing secret wars and have our people go off and fight in these wars that the government themselves calls, but want to blame the other country,
right,
and, unfortunately, those other countries, they're although sometimes I feel like they're telling the truth, it's also the propaganda that they put out. But the government propaganda is one thing as well. But
Right.
dealing with the homeless population, especially near like a base, a lot of people who are mentally ill, they're still capable of working and capable of doing things. I see a lot of
Yeah.
people who have issues that they're still doing jobs. They still work, although it's in
But
different
you
levels of it.
but the problem is the real issue is that they're taking away they took away basic jobs. That's why there's so many homeless because there's no basic jobs. Everybody can't be a doctor. College
Yep.
is great. College is great, but college is not for everyone.
Yep.
So what do those people do? You just let them you know what this is? It's a perfect example of a movie that you need to watch. It's on Netflix. It's called The Platform. If you watch the platform, you're gonna be like, oh my God. If this is, you know, if you this is just I would really don't like to comment on it until people watch it, but it's basically our society when you really think about it. If you watch it, it's called The Platform. It's on Netflix. It's worth a watch. But the way that I mean, if you don't mind spoilers, I could tell you a little
No, I
bit.
know about that movie. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead and talk about it. But I seen
Uh,
I watch a lot of I don't watch a lot of movies. Not saying it like that. I love movies. But what I
yeah.
like is I like to watch the synopsis of movies. I see a
Right.
review, probably 10, 20 minutes long, about the whole movie that gives me insight. That's kind of how I like to do movies. So I've done that with the platform.
Okay. So well, in the platform, basically it's a jail, and they got and it's got this conveyor belt that I mean this platform that goes down, and you get to eat you get to eat whatever's there before it leaves. And then what happens is if you the higher up you are, the better the food is because it keeps going down, so people have to eat the leftovers. And there's a whole bunch of floors, and the food doesn't make it down to the lower floors. So you try to eat as much as you can, and after 30 days, when you wake up, they're gonna gas you. When you wake up, you're on a different floor. You never know what floor you may end up on. You might be higher, you might be lower, and you can't hold on to any food. And the people above doesn't talk to the people below, and the people below don't talk to the people above. And it's so bad how the people above you will treat the people below. It's like they everybody can eat if they were rationing out the food, but they don't do that. They just eat, and then send those and scrap over it and pee on it and shit on it and everything else.
Yeah, I see. That's true.
And they're basically, if you have to really watch the movie because it really shows how humans are how they treat different how we treat each other, and how we treat each other is really what is affecting our society. The lack of care, the lack of only me, and I don't care about nobody else but me, and but my family. And that's where it is, and that's where we stand, and that's why we have so many homeless people. You say, "Oh, I'm gonna send these jobs overseas, and I'm gonna remove shop, and I'm gonna take trades out of the high school, and I'm gonna send all those trades overseas, right? I'm gonna send all the trade jobs overseas. Now everybody have to be academic to get a job. You have to get your academics up. Okay, you got some scholars, but what about those people that fall short? What about the what happens when you just suck at science, or you just suck at math, or you suck at English, or whatever it is? Now what can you do? You got to rely on your talent. You got to rely on skills and crafts, but they got a robot for everything. Now they got AI, and it keeps continuing. It keeps continuing and continuing and continuing. And the way they do this is they're taking away all the jobs away from people. What jobs you in a my bad, you're in a situation where even though people who want to get a job, they can't get a job because there's no jobs available.
They're already starting to have automatic McDonald's. A machine hands you your food. They got self-driving cars that pick you up. That means Lyft and Uber is about to be demolished in a few years. Like this is a bigger problem that nobody's paying attention to. You say get a job. Well, what kind of job can I get?
I really
And
feel like everything's progressing too fast on top of that. Like even
yeah,
though we have this natural progression of things, like think about how everything was in like the 1950s and 60s, even the
right,
70s, and then where we're at now. Like I get computer and technology, but in all honesty, I think that it's just progressing too fast, or it's not progressing in the correct amount. Because majority of the time, whenever anything's done, it comes out in the military first. And then whatever we have in the
right,
military usually comes out to the public 10 to 20 years later on, depending on what it is.
right,
But it's right now it's just going too fast. But I also
right,
see it as a big issue is like, a lot of our money is spent on the military. I'm not trying to be anti-military, but the whole process of it is this. It's like
right,
you keep increasing the military budget to keep buying things to be on top of, to be up there in the military. You know, if for all the peace that everyone wants to talk about, you keep building up the no more guns. You keep building up the military as if you're getting ready for something. I understand the fact of protecting the country, but how much do you really need? How much? And then you go off and you sell the aircraft and the tanks that you have to third world countries or the other countries who can't afford to, and I'm getting all the gunmen, who can't afford to buy their own, but now you gut it and sell it over there to them. And then that can also cause situations because when you gut it and sell things to them, although it's gone, you can also implement small little things, malware and whatnot, like the Chinese, like the same that the Chinese have done
right.
and everything. But like what is the continuation of trying to like do war in the first place? Like the
Right.
military is there to prevent war. So you say, but why? Why do this? Why have
Why are we still
NATO?
fighting?
Exactly.
I've said this so many times. I don't understand in these modern times, especially in these modern times, why people can't be civilized and figure it out together. Figure out what the real problem is. Oh, I want your oil. You know,
Hmm.
it's I want your oil. You don't give me your oil, I'm gonna take it from you. It's just like it's bullies. Oh, you don't. We want your land because we like those flowers over there. It's like it's you know what it reminds me of? Avatar. The first Avatar. The first Avatar movie, they come into a brand new planet. They come and just because they feel whatever element is under these people's home, they want to destroy their home because they want to dig because they feel like they can make some money with what was there. But you're destroying homes with children and women and you just think it's okay. Like you just don't care. You
That's what it
know,
does
oh
remind me of, but it also reminds me of it. To me, also reminds me of like how the Americans did Native Americans who lived here before them. And
yeah,
it's a continuation of it. And
right.
it's like, okay, this has happened. It's still issues with that because it hasn't been, completely addressed. No issues
Mm.
in the United States have been completely addressed.
Oh man.
At least for the people, the natural people who live here, for the people who helped build up the country,
Was
and I'm
there
not
our acres in the mule?
right. And I know there were Chinese Americans who came over, like out here in Nevada, and they helped early in the early 1900s and 1800s, late
Help
1800s.
build the
I
railroad.
know that, and they faced injustices too. But it's not like how African Americans are facing justice, and it's not
Right.
like we're not doing better to better ourselves right now. It's just
Hmm.
it's just a little bit different. Like my coworker who he is Native American and Mexican, right? And he
Hmm.
we had a cultural intervention class, and I'm like, oh, finally a cultural intervention class. So I actually like them. And he was saying like, yeah, I was raised not to see color. You know, everyone has a opportunity and a chance. Now, he's not wrong for that. And you know what? I used to believe that too. And a lot of people still do believe it, you know, from
Believe what again? Repeat that.
that you know, that you don't really see color. You just see a person, you know, and you have
Right.
people that do believe that. But as we've advanced and where we are now, it's the belief is, and this one is true, is if you don't recognize someone, their culture and their color, then it's basically you stating that you're ignoring the struggle and the issues that they go through because you believe that everybody's equal. And while
Right.
that's what we all want, that's not what it actually
That's
is.
not the reality. That's not the reality. Yeah. So I most definitely agree with that. Because, you know, they think, you know, but at the same token, I hate to say it, but even though sometimes some stuff is, we're trying to get past racism, but we have to also, we have to change ourselves.
Yes.
There's ninjas walking down the street that I cross the street for as a black man. I'm like, oh shit, let me cross the street. Like, you know, but we could tell the difference. The problem is they can't tell the difference. They see us all as the same ninja. You know, we know the difference. You know, like Big Cannon said, yeah, I'm a thug until a real thug come around. You know, like we the crime level within our own community is so bad that it makes it even harder for the racism to go away. Now, mind you, racism is gonna be there, but when we add to that situation, that's when we screw it up. I remember I was at the park and I was playing ball with my son, me and him on one court, two white guys on the other court. They're recording, probably doing some YouTube, whatever they're doing. Black guy comes with his friends. First of all, they disturb him. Hey, you're playing or not? They haven't been there that long. You're disrupting their video. You can clearly see they're recording. You know, they're doing whatever they're doing. It's a public park, and next thing you know, within a few seconds, they're bullying them off the court. They didn't come bully us off the court. Now, mind you, these two young white boys, they probably watch TV. They probably look at this ghetto stuff, love and hip hop and all this other crap
Well,
with black with a bad representation of black people. Then they go to the park, and then this happens to them. Then they get older, and you wonder why they're racist. You know, they got they got their elders telling them this about black people. They see it on TV, and then they turn around, they go in public, and those black people treat them that way. So now there is situational racism. It's not necessarily I'm racist against you because you're black. I'm racist with you because black people are the one who's did this to me. I deal with the developmentally disabled. I have a Mexican client that for a long time didn't like black people because black people jumped him. It wasn't that he was racist, it's that black people jumped him, so he didn't like black people. But he's mentally disabled, so he can't comprehend that it was just those group of people that decided to attack him. But he's he's small minded. So hey, the only people that's jumping me is these black guys. So now I don't like black people. You get what I'm saying? So we can't change the mindset of anybody unless we change our own actions. I'm not gonna pay for Zeus anymore. I paid for Zeus because Zeus is a black owned platform, kind of like Netflix, but it's nothing but smut. It's nothing that's gonna uplift our people. It's no shows, nothing. Just crap reality TV of people arguing and fighting at each other. That's all it is. Every last one of the shows. And we promote this behavior. We promote we promote this behavior as, oh yeah, that bitch did that bitch did that, but you don't promote civilized. For me, as a pacifist in the black community, you're looked at as a simp or a punk. Why? Because I'm constructive, considerate. I don't like to raise war. I like to talk out a problem and figure out what we need to do about it. So now I'm a punk or I'm Uncle Tom. They want to stay low instead of raise up. You got people that get jobs and want to quit a job so they can stay on the county. Like, I get the racism, but we as people, we gotta change, man.
No, I agree with you. And those are
Yeah,
like some of the same concepts I think of too, because I do see it. I grew up a little bit differently than a lot of people I grew up around. Um, similar but different at the same time. But I definitely agree with that. Our younger generations, the generations actually seeing all this stuff on TV about how to act, why, like that question, like, why you act white, why you talk white. It's like, you gotta speak or
right.
do things a certain type of way to be accepted within your community, not the culture, but the community. Because then you
There
have
you
people
go.
that are that way, and they believe this is how you're supposed to act as Black people, and then you're pretty much brainwashed and the understanding that this is how we are, what we are, because that's all you're around, what you hear, what you see, what you respond to, and that's not the case, and
Right,
sometimes you learn from that later on. Sometimes you learn early because you have someone who comes in, or you have someone who sees things differently than what the standard that everybody else is seeing is, and tries to explain things. But not all the time will it get through people. Sometimes it's just, falls on deaf ears. But sometimes
right.
it doesn't, and like who was it? I think it was James who said it. He was the one who was saying that, if he can get through one person, when he speaks to all these people, then it's worth it because you made a difference for that one person.
Right.
And I definitely agree with him. He's right on that. It does, it
It,
just sucks sometimes when you speak to like multiple people and it's only one person who listens, but it's better than none. And
right.
but also, it does suck, especially when you're younger and you're going through this and you haven't really fully developed your own psyche and who you are as a person and for yourself, and you're being told one thing and now you're not all the time, but you have some people that are confused about it, like I gotta act this way, I gotta be this way in order to
Right.
get respect, to get women, to the things that are in our own community, because that's all you have access to until you actually get older and move away, or,
Exactly.
have a better understanding.
Right. And you learn how to react to those communities. I saw a lady, these two women, grown women, just destroy 3 generations right in front of me. They're hollering, "Come on, bitch! Come on, bitch!" Ghetto as all hell. Over disagreement probably wasn't that serious. You have elementary kids out there, junior high kids, high school kids. They're looking at you. They're excited to see them acting like this because this is love and hip hop right in front of them.
Mm.
You just destroy. They just sat up there single handedly destroyed 3 generations. They're all excited to see this bullshit, and they think that's how they're supposed to act. That's how it's supposed to be because you're a product of your environment. A lot of times, it's really difficult to get out of that. You be around somebody long enough, move to another country, you'll come back here with an accent. You're around it enough. It's good. It's sometimes you have those few who don't allow their society to manipulate them, but it's not an easy task. Sometimes it's about survival, and then survival turns into what comes naturally. You know, I don't gang bang, but hell, when I was a little kid, every other word was cuz this, cuz that, because of my environment. – I didn't know that it was a gang slur. I just thought it was the regular, it was how people talk. I'm cussing like a sailor. I'm saying all these different things and doing different. I'm thinking this stuff is normal. This is the way it's supposed to be. And then you grow up and you find out, oh no, this is a gang term. And I find out that I'm saying this on the other side of town, which is a whole different territory. And if the wrong person heard me saying that, I could get killed. But I don't know that because I'm just a product of my environment, you know. And we, like you said, that's what happens, man. That's what happens. We have to, lead by example. These kids, they might not all the time do what you say, but they for damn sure gonna imitate you every time. So we as people, man, we gotta make a big step, a big jump, and it starts with our own, even our own, like I say, our own content, our own entertainment. We're entertained by the bull crap. Have you seen BET lately?
No, man, I haven't seen BET since
Man,
shit years.
oh man, it's what we need. They need to bring back the Family Matter shows, the Fresh Prince. They need to bring that stuff back because all this reality TV crap is destroying it. It's making it even worse. You know, look at the Jocelyn Hernandez getting praised because she beat up an officer and some other female.
And you know
So,
what? I was kind of
Actually,
surprised at that
into
because
road rage shit.
I haven't
huh?
heard her name. I haven't heard her name in like the news for a minute, and then all of a sudden I hear her name in the news. I'm like,
Right.
oh shit.
She been doing her thing. Her ghetto stuff got a show on Zeus Network about strippers making it and to these females. It's to the point where women feel like that's the only way they could come up because everybody that did come up is a stripper. I've talked to women that felt like that. Like they say they don't want this. Men don't like these kind of women, but those are the kind of women that's winning. But the sad part is they not lying. Jocelyn Hernandez, stripper. Cardi B, stripper. Like, you know, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. We have to really change our society, the way we treat our women, the way we look at our women, the way we treat each other, the way we treat ourselves. We could cry till we black and blue about what they're doing to us, but what about what we're doing to ourselves? We can't even sit next to the bus. We can't even sit next to the on a bus stop together. We can't even socialize together without anarchy.